There's a hole in my bucket, there Liza, there Liza. There's a hole in my bucket, there Liza, there's a hole.
Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, fix it.
With what shall I fix it, there Liza, there Liza. With what shall I fix it, there Liza, with what?
With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw.
But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, too long.
Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, cut it.
With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, with what?
With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, an axe.
But the axe is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the axe is too dull, dear Liza, too dull.
Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it.
With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, with what?
With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, a stone.
But the stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. But the stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry.
Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, wet it.
With what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I wet it, dear Liza, with what?
With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, with water.
And how shall I get it, dear Liza, dear Liza? And how shall I get it, dear Liza? How shall I?
With a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, the bucket.
There's a hole